This is Battlefield 5 Firestorm, and all the footage here is me playing the game using my Steam controller. So for my settings, make sure you have the non-Steam shortcut in Steam titled Battlefield V, just like this for Battlefield 5. That way you'll be able to find it in the community list easily, and you can find all the other community uploads in the community list that are here. Since it's not a Steam game, you have to title it correctly yourself, so Battlefield V. And then these are my settings. The main different kind of style I use is I use kind of like my PUBG weapon switching style, which has weapon on 1 and 2 put on the Y and B button. So I use Y and B for weapon switching because I'm not using B for crouching since I have it on the right grip. So I use it for the secondary weapon. At first I had 1 and 2 bound to the same button here, and I had it cycle the bindings when I tapped Y, so it just switched between them. But I found when I switched to my rocket launcher or my pistol and then wanted to switch back to a specific weapon, I just had to press the cycle binding on Y, and it could have been 1 or 2 depending on the last one I had switched to. So if I pull out a rocket, I'm fighting like a tank, and then I wanted to pull out my specific weapon that's in my first slot to fight, and then I pressed Y, it could have been cycling to the second binding, so it would pull out the 2 weapon instead of my 1, and I have to cycle again. I'd have to press it twice to get to the weapon that I want to get to, and then I might make a mistake and over tap it and have to keep cycling between them. So I just made it a separate binding, have 1 on the Y button and then have 2 on the B button. That way if I pull out like a rocket launcher and then I want to go to a certain weapon, I can just press the designated button instead of hoping that it's on the right cycle for what I want. So I could just go straight to my secondary or straight to my primary. And then on the Y button I have long press switches to the sidearm. So right here, just long press binding is on 5, which is the pistol for Firestorm. So I have that there. Feels very good switching between all the weapons like this for me. And then I have reload interact on the same button on X. Jump is on A. I don't feel like I need jump anywhere else, like on the grip, so you don't jump that often. And when you're climbing over things, I don't think I really need camera control, so it's fine to take my thumb off for just a second to climb over something. And then I have crouching and prone on the right grip, which is pretty natural for me. I do it in a lot of shooters. And I have sprint on the left side, so sprinting is on the left side, crouching and prone is on the right side. The healing item is up on the D-pad, the equipment slots left and right on the D-pad, and then pinging is down. I used to have the building for Battlefield 5 on down, but there's no fortifications in Firestorm, so I just took it out and put ping there just in case. I couldn't figure out anything else to put there, so I put ping, even though I also have it on right pad click. Either way, we'll do a ping to point out something in the environment, point out where the enemies are. And then I put melee up on the right bumper because it was on the right pad click, and I don't like it on the right pad click because whenever like a super tense moment happens, sometimes I accidentally click in the right pad, and then that'll do a melee and it'll get me killed because I took time to melee instead of still shooting at them. So I always get rid of melee from right pad click because you never know when you're gonna accidentally click it while you're shooting, and then it just messes everything up. So I moved it to the right bumper. If I really want a melee, it's up there. Grenade is on the left bumper. And then I have my gyro aim, of course. Gyro is mostly how I do my aiming after using the right pad to find them real fast. Pretty much all my aiming comes from the gyro at that point. I have a pretty high sensitivity in this game compared to others that I usually do. No acceleration, medium haptics is usually how I like it. But yeah, the tracking in this game, I feel like people run pretty quickly, so I needed the sensitivity up a little bit. to match the movement, and this is where I've landed. It's been pretty good for me. Mode shift I have here, which is another big deal for me. It helps me a lot in firefights. I've sniped a lot of people in this game by using this. When I fully pull the trigger, shifts the gyro into this much less sensitive setting, so you can see that there, so you can aim properly for the headshot, or just to get them when they're really tiny. You can barely see them. This helps a lot. If you fully pull it, you get a less sensitive gyro. It's still on medium haptics. And then I also have on the full pull while you do that. It's a multi-button, so it's right mouse, also with left shift, so that you can hold your breath, since that steadies your aim in the game. So you hold full pull of the left trigger, and then don't move, and he holds his breath. And then the gyro is also less sensitive, so you can do more accurate aim. So that helps a lot. You just soft pull all the time while aiming, and then whenever you want to slow down your aim, just to do a little bit of a fine adjustment, you fully pull it down. That's how I play most of these games, and it really works well in this game. So that's how I have it set up. The map is on the left select button, and then inventory is on the start button. And then if you hold in the select button, it takes you to the escape menu. And that's pretty much it. That's my settings for this game. Oh yeah, and then I have on the right pad click, I have a mode shift. Also, not on the right pad click, on joystick click. It takes the right touchpad to be a touch menu, and that'll let you switch all your vehicle seats. So if you're in a vehicle, which I haven't really used much of, but I put it in there just in case, you can switch through all the vehicle seats. So I got vehicle seat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't think there's any vehicles in Firestorm that have this many seats, but in case they add any, the bindings are there. So you can switch through all the seats. That's just by clicking on the left stick and the joystick. There is no right stick, so it's just the joystick that you click in. Brings up this touch menu, so you can switch vehicle seats. It doesn't matter because I don't use joystick click. It's not a problem because I'm sprinting using the left grip, not by the joystick click. So I just found something else to use it for, which is for that touch menu, which is real handy. Oh, and I forgot to mention another mode shift here on the left pad. Turns it into scroll wheel, and that's by clicking on the right pad. So whenever you click on the right pad, it's a scroll wheel. So you can see it here. I'm pressing on the right pad, and now I'm moving my thumb up and down on the left touchpad, and I'm scrolling. This is pretty natural. The only problem is you kind of can't zoom in and out on the map while you're in the middle of moving with the joystick, because you don't have your left thumb available. I was thinking of maybe changing this setting, but for the most part this has worked for me. I just stop moving whenever I'm doing my zooming in and out on the map, and it works fine. But I couldn't really think of something else I would rather switch it to at the moment. So that's just how I have it set up. When you press in the right pad, you can move your thumb on the left touchpad to zoom in and out on the map, or just as a scroll wheel in general. And then whenever you let go, it's a normal D-pad on the left touchpad. And that's how it is. I'll upload it to the community here on the Battlefield 5 community. There's a lot of other settings here that are good too if you want to try those out, but mine will be Red Gaming's BFV Firestorm bindings. There's a lot of other good ones here, like Existential Egg. I watch a lot of his videos. He does great stuff, a lot more like complex different settings, like creative settings. Like he's using dual trackpad here. I assume he's not using the joystick at all, which I've never really gotten used to. I like to use the joystick because it's here. But that's pretty interesting too. He has good stuff. A lot of other people do interesting ones too. They're all here in the community, whoever uploaded here. And then mine will also be here on the Red Gaming's BFV Firestorm bindings. And I'll also share a link in the description if you just want to paste a link to get it that way. But that's it. That's my settings. Hope you guys try them out. If you're playing this game and you want to try them out on the Steam controller, it works really well. I definitely recommend playing it. You can try out my settings or anyone else's settings, but I've won a few games already. You're really not at a disadvantage playing with the Steam controller. It's my favorite way, and I recommend it.